El programa con las buenas entrevistas a tus luchadores favoritos. Con la voz de la experiencia, Superboy. Y las vaciladas del bandido. Ya comienza el programa Hablando de Lucha. Hablando de Lucha.
What's up, everyone? ¿Cómo estamos? Buenas noches. Edición especial aquí en Hablando de Lucha con un súper invitado. Pero primero les presento a mi compas, el sexy Superboy. ¿Cómo estamos, Superboy?
Aquí, mi querido bandido, esperando este juevesito para hablar un poquito de lucha y con un invitado muy especial el día de hoy que sabes que están pregunte un poquito de él. Hoy vamos a tener la oportunidad de hacer unas preguntas y saber un poquito más de este invitado especial.
Y if you don't understand what we're saying, just hit the ESP button and you can hear us speaking in English. This program will probably be a little bit of a mixture of Spanish and English because this guy has fans all over. Honestly, the Spanish crowd loves him, hates him. They even give him his new nickname. The American crowd loves him. Great guy, super talented, great trainer. Let's introduce the other guy, our other host with the bright, shiny future on his shoulders. And he's not there. He's on the red.
¡Ordeando mi rojo! ¿Qué dijo? Ya salió. Buenos días, señor Sol.
Ahora ando más negro. Ahora salí al sol y me quemé. Mi blancura se perdió. ¿Qué onda, mi sexy boy? ¿Cómo andas?
Aquí me quedé rojo, aquí contento. Tenemos un invitado especial que anda preguntando mucho por él, quieren saber un poquito más y hoy vamos a tener la oportunidad de conocer un poquito más a fondo, no nomás al luchador, sino a la persona que es este gran luchador. Hoy lo tenemos de invitado especial, pues nomás que diga mi bandido y nos dejamos ir. Tú dirás, mi querido bandido.
Ya está aquí. He is here. One of the biggest reasons I have him on because he did two big challenges in the last event, Superboy, out here in Palmdale. He called out the Gladiator champion. And it's funny because he mentioned to the champion, from here to August 19th, I'll be on the radio, I'll be on the TV, I'll be everywhere. You look, and here he is, right? But before that, July 16th, he also has a big match coming up in Oxnard versus Kiss Jr. And this is going to be a banger. Honestly, I'm very excited for this match right here.
Yeah, there we go. We have J2 Matioli. You just put him on screen. So that is our special guest today. So excited. People have been asking about J2 Matioli. And you know what? To a lot of people's surprise was when he spoke Spanish in the middle of the ring. That was a big jaw opener for everybody because at one point we didn't think he spoke in Spanish. But you know what? He's bilingual. So that is even better. So like I said, super excited, for the fans. And people want to know a little bit about J2 Matioli, not only the wrestler, but the person and his beginnings.
And let's bring him on, J2.
What's up, guys?
What's up, boss?
J2 Matioli, ¿cómo estamos, carnal?
Aquí, listo para el interview, listo para el podcast.
Eso es todo. You know what? People were so surprised to hear you speak Spanish on Oxnard. I was surprised because for a minute I know you didn't speak in Spanish, and I'm like, what? Is he speaking Spanish, or did we move the ESPN button? But yeah, man, congratulations. You have made a lot of noise up lately. You came to NTLL, and you were one of fans' favorites like right away. I had people drive from LA to Palmdale to come check out the show. And you were the one that sticked out the most in their likings. You have a really good ring presence. We love your entrance. And wow, you know what? What else can I say? You are a great wrestler. So you know what? Today we're gonna find a little bit more about you. But that's a little bit further in the program. So congratulations, and so happy to have you here, bro.
Thank you. Muchas gracias por tenerme. It's an honor. Thank you.
Now, J2, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? You know, like Superboy said, when you spoke Spanish, everyone was like, dude, he speaks Spanish. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I was actually born in Mexico. I was born down in Mulegé, down in Baja Sur, and I lived with my dad up in Rosarito. And my dad, he's actually Italian. He's full blood Italian. He's from Sicily,
Wow.
Pozzallo, Sicily. And my mom, she was Mexican. So I was born a Mexican mom and full blood Italian dad. And then I moved to the U.S. when I was 2 years old. So pretty much I was raised American, but I definitely spoke Spanish when I was a kid. So that was all my childhood.
Wow, wow, that's really cool. That's really cool.
And how did you, you know, growing up out here, what was it that got you into wrestling?
So when I was a kid, my guardian mom. So she's not my adopted mom or anything, but she was a family friend that pretty much took care of me for my dad because my dad had properties in Rosarito, and so she would pretty much raise me. She was very close with Rey Mysterio Senior,
Oh wow.
and his family. His wife, she worked with my mom in a preschool, and when I was going to the preschool there, she would always take care of me, and then I would actually go play after school. I would go play with Rey Mysterio's son, and Aaron would also be there, who is wrestling currently right now. But I
Yes.
I pretty much grew up with them. Who is wrestling currently right now.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because Rey Mysterio is the man in Tijuana, Baja California. His sons now is wrestling, and he's got a big name. Not also his on his behalf, but in his cousin's behalf. Rey Mysterio, 619. But man, that's great. That's a great story. And you couldn't grow up better than Tijuana. I grew up going there. Well, my father's memory is going when I was about maybe I want to say like 12 or 13, and I remember my brother used to go wrestle down there, so he took me once. We wanted to drop off an uncle, and we stopped at I forgot the name of the place, but it was like a small theater, and he took me there to watch wrestling, and it was so different than what we're accustomed here in LA. And I was hooked, man. I was already hooked from the beginning. I'm a second generation wrestler, and so, anyways, I fell in love, and I kept going back. I just kept going back, and finally, until like I debuted in '87, and from like 80, 88, 89, I started going to TJ just to get groomed down there, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome. And I got a chance to work with Rey Mysterio Sr., and I got a chance to work with like everybody at that time. Genghis Khan, Ultraman, which at the time, I guess he was still under Caballero del Fin, I think, before being Ultraman. And I know I ran along with Nicho when he was El Salvaje. I think it was El Salvaje. Yeah, all these guys. But yeah. And it's just to hear somebody else, we have like similar, I came here in the States when I was 2 years old and just hooked with the wrestling, my dad, wrestler and everything. Awesome. I love it. I love these stories. See, that's why we love making these podcasts and, knowing a little bit more about yourself and, your beginnings. And that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's funny because, at the last event, I asked J2 for the favor to give Hijo Rey Mysterio a ride over here. And it's funny that here you go. I was like, I hope he would do me that favor. And J2 says, oh yeah, no problem. Now I know why. But J2, honestly, how did you get started? What school did you go to? How did you get involved in the wrestling business?
So when I first really got interested in wrestling was when I was 10. I started watching WWE because I would go to Mexico and watch the Lucha Libre matches with Rey Mysterio, and I was into them, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I want to do this. I enjoyed going with my mom, but I really liked watching WWE when I was 10 years old, and I'd watch it for pretty much all my maybe 4 or 5 years, and then I got to high school and I took a break. But what happened was my brother-in-law, he was the one that was really into wrestling, and he loved John Cena, and he found out about a school in San Diego that Rey Mysterio and his son were training at, Dominic Mysterio, and it was called Battle U at the time, and it was down the street from my house. And I told my brother, "Hey man, you should go do it." And my brother's like, "Man, I never played sports, so I'm really nervous." And he asked me, "Hey, could you do it with me?" And originally I wasn't gonna do wrestling. I was doing acting at the time. I had an agent up in LA, and I was going to auditions. And at the time, I was like, you know what? I'll go with my brother, help him out so he can get through it. And then I was gonna quit after the month so he could do it without me, because I was just gonna be there to hold his hand. And then I went to the tryout. I met B-Boy at the time, and me and my brother did the tryout. We did all the cardio. My brother threw up like 3 times. I didn't throw up. I didn't throw up at all. I was used to sports, so it was really cool to just kind of get through it. And then after the training, B-Boy told me, he's like, "Hey, I think you should stick around. This looks like something you could do." So, and then after that, my brother quit after the first day because it was too much for him.
Oh,
And for me, it was really not so much easy, but I was just like, I paid $300. I should probably do this till the end of the month and see if I like it or not. And pretty much I stuck with it, and I kept getting better. So here I am.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I heard about that school. I remember hearing about that school, and people from LA driving to San Diego to for the tryouts. I didn't know B-Boy was one of the trainers there. B-Boy basically he's from over here from this part, and had I tagged with him many times. He was still young when when I was around, but yeah, he's a great talent, and if he saw something in you, he's a good scout.
Yeah, definitely. But pretty much Battle U didn't last too long, and then it transferred to Level Up, where it became a new school, new name, new look, and that's when the school really started growing, and that's when I really started to hone my craft as a pro wrestler, because that's where I really debuted, and I was the first graduate of the school, and so I had a lot of shoes to fill because a lot of eyes were on me. So I was working really hard to get better. But then COVID happened, and then everything was shut down. But we were one of the few schools that was open, first out of
Okay.
all the schools. So we took advantage of that, and we started training as much as possible. And that's how I was able to kind of be ahead of a lot of people, because a lot of people couldn't train. So I took advantage of that, and also started doing matches with no audience, and just wrestling consistently every week. And that's really where it helped me get to where I am today.
Awesome. And you debuted. You said you debuted. What name did you debut under?
I debuted under my original name, just Juan Matioli. I didn't have a nickname or anything, but I just debuted with my regular name because I had a hard time finding something that I kind of had a hard time finding the gimmick name, so I just stuck with my real name.
Awesome.
All eyes are still on you, Playmaker. Well, that's really cool, because how long have you been since day one of training? How long has it been, J2?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
And now, if I'm not mistaken, you are one of the trainers at the school, right?
Yeah. So I'm right now. We changed our name again. Now we're San Diego Pro Wrestling Academy, and I'm one of the head trainers at the school. So I help pretty much train the beginners, intermediates, and advanced. And I'm one of the few trainers that actually knows lucha, because I trained with I trained with SoCal Crazy, and I also trained with Super Astro down at Level Up. So I learned a lot of lucha during my time at the school.
We have a match with you and Super Astro, which is one of my favorite matches and a big fan favorite. People really love that match. We have Alfredo asking here a question for you. What inspired you to use the gimmick you have now because people like it?
So before I did the gimmick I had now, I was kind of a Tron inspired gimmick. So I really like Tron and I like lights and all that. So I wore the helmet and I had lights on when I would do my entrance. And then over time, I wanted to kind of evolve the gimmick, and I was always a babyface. So I wanted to be a heel, and it was really tough because a lot of people liked me. So I was trying to think of ideas. How could I stand out from everybody? And one thing I noticed from wrestling back in the day was that a lot of wrestlers, they based their gimmicks off celebrities, movie roles, things like that. So I started looking into celebrities of today and who really stood out. And one of the celebrities that I really liked was The Weeknd. He's a singer, and I really liked his red coat, his red blazer, his black tie, and the way he had his hair. He kind of had this beat up look, and I thought it was very cool. And I felt like people could distinct that. Like if someone saw me, they'd be like, "Oh, he's The Weeknd." So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out, but then keep the helmet because the helmet was always something I wore and no one else wore it. So I changed my colors because I always wore blue, so I wanted to wear red instead because red was like the evil color. So I wanted to try that.
I don't know about that, man, because the fans out here in Palmdale, they'll see you as a heel, man. They loved you out here.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely like me. So.
Yeah, once the helmet went off, it still looked like you still had the helmet. Yeah. So people still started calling you pelucas. It was so funny, man. And and I caught up on that, and I just started saying, "Hey, pelucas, pelucas," and people just started chanting pelucas. It was so funny, but yeah, people really catch on things. What's up?
Tell him what pelucas mean.
Well, pelucas is just a wig, it means wig, but it looks like he knows. Come on.
For the fans, Superboy.
Well, yeah, the fan, para los que no hablan inglés, carnalitos, pelucas son wigs, en inglés son lo que es una peluca. Ya, y le dijeron pelucas por la cantidad de pelo que tiene en su cabeza. Digo, se quitó el helmet, pero parecía que todavía lo traías puesto.
Veronica, she's always great seeing J2 not only as a wrestler, but as a really cool and nice person. And awesome gimmick. That's Veronica Camarena, and she's really cool. She's pretty much at all the events and behind the camera, so she sees a lot of things that no one really sees. And for her to say that about you, that means a lot, honestly.
Yeah, Veronica's been a very good supporting fan. I usually see her at a lot of the shows in LA. I love seeing the same fans because you see the passion from certain fans that just love going to wrestling and enjoying the shows, no matter what the show is. Because I've seen some fans go to like shows that only have maybe 10 people or 300 people, but the same people love going to watch wrestling, and it's a beautiful thing to see. These people just continue to watch and support our local wrestling. So I really appreciate Veronica.
Yeah, not only that, sometimes they go to see certain people or certain person, and like you said, it doesn't matter if it's a big crowd, small crowd, or whatever. But yeah, it is really great to know that people go and support all these lucha events, venues, and that's what we want. That's what we want. The more the merrier, I guess. The more places there are, the more work there is for us too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. And I just hope it keeps on going that way. And one thing that I've always say that, NTLL and RMW are two brother companies that, go by hand in hand and work together. And that I think that's really, really awesome. They help each other, they work with each other, and you know what, we have got nothing but the best matches, the best crowds, and a lot of success. So that just contributes to two companies working really good together.
Now, J2, as a trainer, can you tell who has it to make it through the course and who doesn't? Have you had that, like, where you see someone and he's not gonna make it or she's not gonna make it?
Yeah, the biggest things I look at is if their basics are good, because a lot of guys struggle with the basics, and it's usually like footwork or their rolls or their bumps, and we're really big on making sure those things are clean. And there's sometimes we got guys that it takes them longer than everybody else. Sometimes you have a guy that gets it like that, and it's like, man, this guy's ready to go to the next step. And then you got people that just, no matter how many times, it's just they're still scared of landing, or they're scared of hitting their heads. And that you can kind of tell right away. You're like, oh, it's not so much that they can't cut it, it's just that it's gonna take longer for them than others. Because I've had guys that it took them 3 years before they even debuted. And that's not far-fetched. But I've had people that debuted in 8 months, 6 months. One perfect example is Zara Zacher. When she started, she already had the gymnastics background, so it was easy. Everything was easy for her, so she was moving on real fast. And then in 6 months, we're like, man, she's ready to debut. So we debuted her in 8 months. So yeah, definitely, I can definitely tell who's ready and who's not right away.
I think it all depends on, like you said, like you had that sports background, and I guess that contributes a lot. If you any sport that you do and you have some kind of background, that that's an extra. That's really gonna push you a little bit forward. Why? Because you have that, like, that daredevil in you, that are not afraid to take a bump, to hit the ropes. And this is what people are afraid of. Once they feel those ropes, they're, oh, hey, it hurts. Of course it hurts. It's steel cable. And yeah, I seen a lot of people just go like, oh, just barely tap the ropes. I go, no, you gotta lean into the ropes. Lean into the ropes. But yeah, and sometimes, yeah, you can see who's gonna take a little bit longer, or are gonna move up pretty fast. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Awesome.
Zara is one of our favorites out here. She's also a fan favorite, but she's just super talented. Like, sports-wise, athletic-wise, she's a very talented wrestler, and she's going places. I'll be really honest with you. I see a bright future for her.
I definitely think in a year she'll be picked up somewhere. I don't think she'll be in the indies very long, because she has something a lot of girls don't have. So she's definitely getting the eyes. So I'm extremely proud of her for how fast she's come along.
Yeah, she was Super Bowl favorite. Zara.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think she's New Japan material, or Japan material. I think she's got that spunk, she's got that quickness to her, and she's really smart ring wise. So yeah, I see the same thing for her. And she was one of the fans' favorites. She was not one of my favorites. Never seen her before, but yeah, she had that wow factor. Yeah, really smart girl, and knows her way, herself in the ring.
I want to give a big shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie, my buddy. He's been with us since the beginning in the late 90s. Great guy, man. Thank you, Ronnie. But J2, what do you have in mind for the future of J2? Because we know you're a great trainer. We've seen the people that came out of your school. We know you're a great worker. But what do you want for J2?
At the end of the day, the main goal is to get signed and get a contract with a bigger company. But right now, my short-term goal is to wrestle in Japan, which is going to happen real soon. I'm going to fly over there in October, and I got a buddy of mine that's helping me get on a show over there, in an indie show in Japan, and hopefully they like me. And then it leads to more opportunities to wrestle more in Japan, and hopefully get in a bigger promotion in Japan. I would love to wrestle for, Noah, All Japan, or New Japan, any of the three promotions, because those are my favorite promotions in Japan. So that's kind of the goal to go to right now. But the ultimate goal is obviously to get to WWE, AEW. But that's kind of what it is right now. But right now it's just Japan. That's really where my focus is right now.
Well, Superboy is one of the first LA to go to Japan. what do you have for advice for J2 Superboy?
Well, pretty much he's got the worth ethic. So basically, just be yourself. Just go down there and don't try to change any rules or anything. Just go along with with the rules and do your work, do your job. That's all I could say. And obviously, they're gonna love you because you have a really really good gimmick. Not only that, you're a really good wrestler, man. You know what you're doing out there, so it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard. And hey, it's a step at a time. You start with those small promotions and you work your way up. And I guess that's getting your foot, in there. Unfortunately, it's not like it was like in the 80s or the 90s. But it's a big step. And good luck with that.
Thank you.
I admire that you, J2, that that's something you want, and you're not gonna wait around for it. You go do it. Fuck it, I'm taking it. That's the right attitude in this business. I really admire that of you. That shows a lot of ganas. Let's do it.
Perseverance.
Thank you. Yeah, I just don't want to be the guy that's like waiting for opportunities. I want to create my own. So the best advice I got from somebody was, "Hey man, Japan's not coming to you, so you go to Japan."
Exactly.
Yeah. No, definitely. I kind of manage myself, and I never waited for anything. I knocked on doors. I went as far as I could. But there's always that glass ceiling effect, and you can only get so far. It's not impossible, but you'll meet people along the way that you say, I don't know, man, this guy's kind of shady, man. Maybe I should go the other way. So yeah, it is like that. Unfortunately, it is this business. But yeah, man, take any opportunity that you get and run with it. And like I said, you'll see if it's for you or if it's not. But yeah, man, good luck with that and échale ganas, canalito.
And Sergio, you will agree. If you get that feeling that this guy's kind of shady, I should go the other way. Go the other way.
Yeah, because obviously you will run into them, and it's inedible. So yeah, you will run into these kind of people. So yeah, you'll know what to do, man. Come on.
And the thing about Japan also, the fans over there love wrestling, and you will meet a lot of great people. One of Superboy's best friends is over there still since you went over the first time. And also, Superboy, the guy that makes your mask for your voice.
Yeah. My friend Imain?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a good friend down there that's down there, and he's my mask maker. Still makes masks for my kids. He's well known in Mexico, in Japan, most of the companies, big companies, small companies, and he's really, really a nice guy. He was the one that would pick us up at the airport, take us to the train station, and kind of move us around. He's really cool, and knows a lot of, like I said, knows a lot of people in Mexico and Japan and in the States. My good friend Imai.
Very cool.
So that's really cool. But so what's the plan when you come back from Japan? Mexico tour, Australia. Yeah. Australia is on fire right now with wrestling.
I mean, the goal is to kind of learn more in the business. Like, I want to learn from different guys. I want to learn from like Ricky Marvin. He's one guy I want to like try to learn from. Maybe go to Mexico and train with him, or Chicago. Also, maybe go to England at some point, because I was talking to the guys that came down at the last NTLL, and Mulligan told me if I'm ever in England to message him, and they show me where to go. So, definitely made some connections. So,
now let me ask you, J2, since you got to work with these guys. I saw these guys that came from a whole different country, whole different culture, whole different, but I could have met the nicest guys and the very good in-ring work and dedication with these guys. How'd you fill them out?
extremely professional, willing to listen, also very patient. We definitely, they definitely have their own vocabulary for things over there. Because when we were calling some spots, I think he called a drop down a sleeper. So he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I think not Mulligan, the other one,
KJ.
yeah, KJ." He'd be like, "Yeah, you go for a sleeper," and I'd be like, "A what? A sleeper." And I was like, "A drop down?" And he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, just drop down. Like, oh, okay. So it was really cool to kind of talk to them because I love hearing like different like wrestling lingo in different places. So, but extremely nice guys. I met them at the New Japan Showcase because I was also there for the New Japan Showcase, and the guys were there, and that was also a very fun opportunity to wrestle with my partner, Michael Hopkins, and we got to showcase our skills together and lead some newer guys. Honest John was in one of them, so we had an easy time with him. And then we had a guy from Canada. It was like his third match, but we made it super easy, and the match was fun and exciting. And Fred Rosser was there. He was the trainer for the New Japan dojo at the time, and he said that he really enjoyed the match and he really liked us. So, it was really cool to see those kind of things.
Wow.
Awesome. That's really cool.
No, like I said, when I saw the match out here in Palmdale, you had a great match with Mulligan, and Mulligan's a big guy, and J2's a big guy. I think it's very rare when you look up to another wrestler, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Mulligan, he didn't stop growing.
Yeah, it was like my first time wrestling like a 6'7" guy. So
it's funny because these guys, they're really tall, they're really skinny, but they're heavy, man. They're heavy. You don't realize how thin they are. This guy's thin, but yeah, they're really heavy.
He was definitely solid. I remember when I shoulder tackled him, I was like, man, this guy's like a rock.
Yeah.
But
Kiss said the same thing. That Kiss went out for a plancha out, and Mulligan caught him. And Kiss is a big boy too. He caught him, but he said that when he did chest to chest, that he was out. Mulligan is really solid. And those are great guys, and hopefully we're going to talk to him, and hopefully back to the year, might do another tour again next year. So hopefully we'll see him back again.
Hopefully.
I would love to see J2 out in England, in the UK. I think you'll go over very well out there.
Thank you.
But before that, July 16th, you have a date with Destiny. We have J2 versus Kiss Jr. for the Universal Championship. Have you ever worked Kiss before, J2?
I have not, but you know what? I've heard a lot about his dad, so it's an honor to wrestle Kiss Jr. as well. So I'm excited about this matchup.
Well, the three big names in Tijuana have always been Rey Mysterio, Kiss, and Super Astro.
Yep, and I've already wrestled. It's funny how I've worked or been around all three of them now, so it's almost like it's destiny, So I'm very excited.
Have you worked Ray Jr.?
I haven't worked with Ray Jr. yet, but I would love to one day.
I think that would be a great match. Honestly, I think that would be a really good match. Then you'll be done with the trio. You've done Super Astro. You got Kiss Jr. and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
But I think Kiss is so bad actually boy that he can take three of them at the same time. We'll put him in a steel cage.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll put him in a steel cage and lock the door and let J2 handle all three of them.
Oh, I will.
We got Angel. This is another a big fan out here. Palmdale. He said, "Can't wait to see J2 again, August 19th." Yes, sir. Is The Weeknd your favorite band?
Definitely my favorite singer right now.
Well, I can tell you like dressing up as The Weeknd.
Yeah, I literally would listen to his whole album my entire shift at my job, and I just lose myself in his music. So he's definitely the inspiration for my character. So if you guys ever get a chance,
Yeah,
just watch one of his YouTube videos.
I love his music. Not only that, but my grandson, he puts a weekend all the time. That's why when you came out, it just reminded me of my grandson, because he loves that song. And I was like, oh man, I wish he was here.
Yeah.
He would have be loving your gimmick, man.
Now, J2, what does J2 do outside of wrestling?
What do I do outside of wrestling? Well, right now I just so I have a 3-year-old son, and I help raise him right now. So pretty much wrestling is like my full-time job. And so on the weekdays when I'm not wrestling and not training, I usually spend time with my son and my wife, and try to be a family man. And then most of my other time goes to working out and eating better, because this business is all about how you look. So I'm trying to improve that and work on those kind of things. But that's like my main things. But I have other hobbies. I used to play soccer a lot. That was like my favorite thing to do, and I still like to kind of watch and play on occasions if I ever get the time. But it's really hard now because every time I go play soccer, I always pull a hamstring. I forget that I'm not that young 19-year-old anymore, so I can't sprint on the field anymore.
That's true. That's true.
But usually I'm a big video game guy. I love to play video games. I'm very into like FIFA. I also like to play like the PlayStation and things like that. I was a very big Nintendo guy back in the day, but now it's mostly PlayStation and things like that. I also like to do video editing for the school. I know how to do. I do the shows on our YouTube channel, and I put together the matches. So video editing is something I like to do on the side as well.
Awesome.
Now, till the date, which has been your favorite match?
My favorite match?
Yeah.
Oh man. Honestly, I have 3 favorite matches, and if I had to pick one out of all of them, I would have to say it was my Iron Man match with Jordan Cruz.
Another great talent.
Oh.
Because
great talent.
Because an Iron Man match, I was very scared about the Iron Man when I first heard about it. It was a 60-minute Iron Man, and I was just questioning myself and saying, man, can I wrestle for 60 minutes nonstop, And Jordan told me, he said, out of anybody else, he thought I was the only guy who could do it. So we went out there and had probably one of the best matches we both ever had, and we went the distance. Neither of us were tired. We gave it our all, and the fans were really into it from start to finish, like the whole. And it didn't even feel like an hour. It just went by so fast, and it definitely was one of my favorite matches of all time. And you guys can check that out. It's on YouTube. I know it's an hour, but if you guys ever want to check it out, just look up J2 versus Jordan Cruz Iron Man match. And it's definitely one of my favorite matches. And then obviously my second is Super Astro. I don't know what it is, but every time I wrestle Super Astro, we just keep having better matches every time. I don't know what it is, but the first time I wrestled him, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. And then after that, every time I wrestled him, it just kept getting better and better and better. And I was just like, man, I can only imagine if I kept wrestling this guy, like how much more we just,
good chemistry, really good chemistry. That's what it is.
The funny story is this: when we got to to NTLL with Aron and Super Astro, when we got there late, me and Astro didn't talk about the match at all. We were just talking with Aron the whole time. And then we got to the show. The show was already starting, and me and Astro were getting changed. We didn't even talk. And then literally, I think 2 matches were before us. And then I go to Astro. I'm like, all right, Astro, what do you want to do? And we just talk. And then finally, Astro's like, all right, we do this, this, and this, and this. I was like, you just tell me out there. And he's like, okay. He's like, all right. And then we went out there, and everything was called on the fly.
Awesome.
That's the best way.
and you guys saw yourselves that the crowd went nuts. They loved it, you know. So I just love wrestling him. He's probably my favorite dance partner because me and him just always go out there and we put it all out there. So
Veronica, I've seen both matches, and yes, second time was even better.
yes.
And then we have Angel. Angel says, I'm with J2 on this one. I'm actually a PlayStation and Nintendo fan.
There you go.
Spider, this is Superboy's favorite luchador. Salutations and J2 congratulations. Now, J2,
Spider.
which are the other two matches that are your favorite?
I had a ladder match with Cameron August. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but Cameron August is also from our school. He has a very Shawn Michaels look to him, and he wrestles just like Shawn Michaels. And he's not trying to be Shawn Michaels, but he just looks like him. And he gave me one of my best ladder matches, and that was my first time doing a ladder match. So that was a crazy match. You can also watch on YouTube, but that was one of my best matches. And then the other one I would have to say is my first title win, which was the Level Up Championship match against Sweet Robin Shaw. And I know you guys know Sweet Robin.
Yeah.
Big guy. And we did a tournament that day, and I literally wrestled 3 matches that day. And then I ended up winning the titles that day. So that was definitely one of my favorite shows. But the best feeling is winning your first belt. And I remember crying like a baby when I won it because the emotions just got to me.
Definitely. You know, a lot of people, you can sit down right here and say, man, why is he crying, man? Why is he crying?
Yeah.
You know, it's really, really emotional.
Now, Alfredo wants to know, how do we look you up on YouTube?
It's very easy. Literally just put J2 Matioli and all my matches pop up. So you just put my name down and you'll find me.
So that's it. But J2 Maioli, he pops right up. J2, which has been your most unpleasant experience in the ring?
So one time I wrestled in Vegas. I did a tag team match with my buddy Casey Douglas, and it was supposed to be Michael Hopkins, but Michael Hopkins couldn't go in because I guess he had work. So at the time, I was part of a faction called 8-Bit Lit. We're video game guys, player 1, player 2, player 3. And so Hopkins couldn't make it, so I had to bring my other buddy. And we wrestled these 2 guys from Vegas. I think they were called Real Money Brothers. And we talked about the match, basic tag match, and they were going to do their gimmick. They're like a money gimmick where they have money and they put it in your mouth, and then if they kick you, spit it out, things like that. So we're like, yeah, whatever you guys want to do. We're there to make you guys look good. And then I was the one taking the heat, and one of the guys, he was like laying them in on me, and it wasn't like a snug where it's right in the pocket. It was one of those like wild snugs where one time it hits you in the face, then back, and it was like consistent. And then, the first couple of times I was like, oh, maybe it's an accident. And he kept hitting me, and I was just like, and this was my first experience with it because every other time I was pretty fortunate, but he just kept hitting me, and I just started getting a little ticked off, and I started hitting him back. And I think he was getting mad because he thought I was, he thought I was like trying to like fight back more than I should. But really, I was just trying to tell him to stop, like, hey, chill out, bro. And then I think at the end of the match, pretty much, I hit him with the lariat, the one I gave Mulligan. But this one, I gave him extra. I was like, oh no, you're getting the full force of it. And I got him really hard. And I just remember that he bumped a little early, so I caught him a little bit like right here. And he was complaining. He's complaining on the. He's like, oh, you hit me in the face. And then I was just like, whatever, bro. And then after the match, we're waiting for them to talk about it. And he just storms off. Pissed off. He's like, whoa. And then his partner's like, oh, don't worry. He just wants to cool off. Don't worry. He's cooling off. And I'm just like, I was like, hey man, I'm right here. If he wants to talk about it, I'm right here. And then he came back and he was just like, hey man, you caught me in the neck, be careful. I'm just like, all right, man, sorry. That was it, But that's probably one of my most annoying things I dealt with in wrestling.
And that happens a lot, believe it or not. Superboy, that ever happened to you?
Many times with many wrestlers, especially guys with big names, and they'll come over here. They see you're small and that you're a run over, and yeah, they had a big surprise coming their way, and it came to the point where you take it to the backstage, and that's where you handle your business.
Yep.
But yeah, many times. A lot of guys like to hit, but they don't like to be hit back. And right away in this business, you know who those guys are. So
Yep.
Exactly. And this is a way to find J2 at J2 Matioli 87. That's what you can find. That's your YouTube channel.
I'm assuming, but no, it's pretty simple to just kind of put just J2. But maybe that's what it gave me on the YouTube thing. I'm not too sure.
Nice. We have. I'm having to see. I got special requests over here going on. Big shout out. There's a fan of yours, Wendy, is watching. So big shout out to Wendy.
Oh yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Wendy because she's one of my #1 fans. All I can say is huge supporter of the Playmaker. She'll come down to San Diego, watch our shows, and she's I think she lives up in LA, so she always drives down to watch some shows. She was at our first show for the San Diego Pro Spotlight show, so huge fan, and she joined our new faction by I got her a shirt, the Heartless Kings, so she joined our little faction down there.
No.
Yeah, hey guys, listen up. I just logged into J2 Matioli, just J2 Matioli into YouTube, and it goes right away to your matches.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
J2 Matioli. That's it.
Hey, J2. Now, Wendy. She's a little firecracker. If I'm not mistaken, right? She gets in everyone's. She gets really into the matches, right?
Oh yeah, she'll get in their faces. She doesn't care, man. She'll tell you how she feels, and I love that. I love when I see fans like Wendy at shows because she just gives it her all, and the fans get into it too because of fans like her. So I truly appreciate, Wendy going to these shows.
That is awesome, and like you said, all your fans travel, man. Sometimes when we're doing our events, I get phone calls from people that want reserve seats from Anaheim, from LA. I'm like, we're about 2 hours away, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And it's like the best feeling when you see people that come from far away to see your event, and then like I always say, I get people to the show, but you guys are the ones that keep them coming back. And I'm always grateful to the talent that does that, man. Because without you guys, we won't have a show, And that's one thing that I always stress to all the guys and the fans. Hey, after the show, they're all out there, buy the merchandise, push all that, because that helps you guys a lot in the long run. And I'm very appreciative that we always talk about that here with Superboy. That we got to take care of our talent, man. You guys make it happen for the people to keep coming back.
Definitely, yeah. I think when the guys go out there and give it their all, the fans see it, and that makes fans want to come back every show. So when you bring in guys that give it their heart, only positive things can come back.
Exactly.
No, definitely, and one thing that I've always say here is that NTLL and RMW is one of the companies that treat the wrestlers the correct way, how they're supposed to be treated, and that's just more inspiration for them to come over here and give it their all. Wherever you're treated nice, you're always going to give it your best.
Definitely.
And we have a date, August 19th. Chris Nasty, I think, talked out of his ass. And honestly, I was very surprised on how the crowd popped as soon as they heard your song. And we were surprised how the crowd wants to see you take that belt away from Chris Nasty.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because ever since I first saw Chris, I've always wanted a match with him. but somehow, some way, we just never got that singles match. So, I'm excited to have this match with him, and I'm excited to, quite honestly, take that belt from him because I think it's time. I think it's time for a new champion. He's had it too long. I think it's the Playmaker's time. So we'll tell on August 19th. So you'll have to wait and see.
We will tell August 19th, and honestly, the crowd, the fans are excited to see that match. And I think that's going to be match of the night. Honestly, we have a big card that day, but I think that's going to be match of the night. Chris Nasty versus J2.
I think so too.
That'll be a great match right there.
The Playmaker versus the Lucha Scumbag. But one of the best part was the Playmaker versus Eddie Guerrero from Wish.
Yep. Hey man, he called me the weekend from Walmart, so Walmart weekend. So I said, hey, all right, two people can play this game.
Oh my god, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
But other than July 16th, Oxnard, August 19th, Palmdale, where else can people see you in these upcoming days, J2?
Oh man, I got so many dates. I'm such a busy person. Let me pull up some dates. Obviously, you guys can always check me out at MPW. That's down in Chatsworth, not too far from NTLL. I usually wrestle there almost every Friday. But you guys can see me there on tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow, 7:30. I'll also be there on the 7th of next week. And for now, that's all I got. But you guys can catch me there the next 2 weeks. And then we have our first big show down in San Diego for San Diego Pro Wrestling Academy. It's called United We Stand, and that's going to be on the 8th down in Barrio Logan in downtown San Diego. And that'll be about 6 p.m.
That is a really good card for that show. I think you have one of the matches a lot of them taken. Yeah, we have over here is Zyla versus Delilah, right? Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be a really good card. We might have to go down there, Superboy.
Most definitely, yeah. We have to go check it out.
They put
get some
shows out there.
Come get some tacos, guys. You know you want some San Diego tacos.
And then
we'll go to El Gordo tacos. Man, they're super expensive, but they're good. They're good.
And then
you already know.
there's another company debuting down there, right? Fire Pro, I believe.
Yeah, Skyfire Pro Wrestling. They're also doing a show, Comic-Con weekend. They're going to be on the 25th on a Sunday. They're going to be kind of close to SeaWorld area, kind of off the 5. I think it's called I forgot the name. I have to pull it up. But that show's also going to be very, very good. Got Super Astro on there, Bamboo, El Rey. Got some talent from San Diego on there. So it's going to be an awesome show.
Are you on that one too?
Yes. I'm wrestling Judiz.
Oh, Judiz.
Okay.
Yeah.
I seen him wrestle. He's pretty good.
Very good. Very
serious wrestler.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about Bamboo, Superboy?
Nah, the hell with Bamboo. I don't like Bamboo, man. I'm sorry, but he overrated. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, is that another one of your students, J2?
Yeah. Bamboo is one of my students.
All right, so
he puts in more. He needs more learning.
This is your opportunity. Tell the man what do you like about Bamboo so he can work on it.
Well, a lot of people talk about him. They say, yeah, he's a good worker, but I've seen him a couple of times, and I'll be honest, he does not convince me. He needs to be more aggressive. When I say aggressive, like lock up, kicks, if he could stop like throwing his hands in the air a little bit less. That'll be cool. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm pretty sure if you see him, you could modify some of his things. I seen him in a one-on-one with the King, El Rey, and I think El Rey it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. They both need more work. They're still kind of young, right? They haven't been in the business that long.
Yeah, this is still like their first year, so they're still very green.
Okay,
but,
yeah, well, there you go. See, that's
you know,
and that's. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying that they need more work.
right.
I think they're good, but Superboy don't like them.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
The one thing that I would like to see a little bit more Bamboo is for him to start working with other people.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's always him and El Rey, right?
I think that's
I seen him work with other people, and he was terrible.
But I'm trying to convince Superboy J2, but I keep losing this battle. So I need to book Bamboo against J2, and hopefully that will convince Superboy.
Well, if you do, I'll tell you this: I'm gonna
should have a good match.
I'm gonna force him. I'm gonna force that aggression out of him.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's how could I say this? When you're a leader, when you're a follower, and he follows in that category where he does what everybody else does, but doesn't show that wow factor. Everybody does the same thing. It's what's gonna stick you out is how you do it, and if you put that extra push in it, and you go an extra mile to do things a little bit different. You got to think outside the box, and he's doing what everybody else is doing, and he's doing not a really good job at it. I like I said, I seen him with El Rey, and yeah, but I seen him with other people, and it was like terrible, And I like to say this: I'm not criticizing. I hope they see me, and then next time they see me, hey, fucker, look, I've improved, and I'll be the first to say congratulations.
I think September Bamboo versus J2. I think that'll be the match to put. If Bamboo doesn't convince Superboy after that match, J2 retires.
That's it.
It doesn't gotta go there. Remember, he still's gotta go to Japan. Come on.
Well, yeah,
That's true. That's true.
Like in September, we'll go old school. If he doesn't convince you Superboy, J2 leaves town. He'll go to Japan and he'll come back.
There you go.
All days. I see video with Jude. He's such a tough fighter.
Yeah, Jude is no joke, man.
Have you worked at G Sharp?
I have not worked with G Sharp yet, but I've always been on the same cards with him. He's another guy that I would love to work with.
Well, he's got kind of like the same style of Judy's.
Yeah,
Jude does.
Yeah.
It's kind of. They look similar. When I see them work, it reminded me of G Sharp.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Jude is just bigger.
Yeah.
But the thing about G Sharp, he surprises me every time I see him work because, like you say, he's not that big of a guy, but dude, he's a powerful guy. He's a really strong guy, and that'd be another match I would love to see is J2 versus G Sharp. I think that'd be an excellent match.
Oh yeah,
you know what? That match will suck. So no one book it. Another one I'd like to see is J2 versus Vito. I think J2 and Vito will tear it up, Superboy.
Yeah, most definitely. Vito's a powerhouse. J2's no pushover. After seeing him against Mulligan, I was really, really impressed because Mulligan's a big dude and a strong dude, and I was really impressed with you, J2.
Thank you. Yeah.
J2, I seen him at FPW. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Anyone in the Valley or Coastal Valley on Friday nights, FPW is a fun little show. It's a fun show to go to. It's not that big of a venue, so you get that we'll say like the Shears. Everyone knows your name. Kind of
Yeah.
vibe when you go there. It's a fun little venue. I've been there a couple times, and it's a fun place to go see. And I think that's the first time I saw J2. I was like, wow, this guy's talented. And that's the first I saw like Diego Valens. A lot of great guys come out of MPW. Check them out on Fridays, honestly. Wendy, and we got to take what she says very, very serious. She says, I've seen G Sharp, and he's a tough competitor.
Oh, yeah. He's very tough.
Yeah. But I have a list of people I want to see J2 with now. Let's see. You get to see great talent. Yes, you do get to see great talent there, honestly. And that's like I said, it's a small venue, but it's like real cozy. Like the bar, everyone knows your name. You go in there, and everyone there knows each other. It's kind of weird when you go and you've never been there. Everyone looks at you like, "Who's this?"
Yeah, you stand out.
You stand out. But MPW is a fun show to go to. Your level up shows, I've been trying to go out there. Veronica, she's been out there, I think, a couple of times, and she tells me how much fun they are. And I want to check out this other one. You guys are coming up. It looks really, really good. Great matches, great booking. The Fire Pro one also looks really, really good. Good stuff coming out of San Diego, and I really believe that you're part of the reason that's happening in San Diego, because your training and pretty much your matches, J2, is helping put San Diego back on the positive end of wrestling.
Wow, thank you. I really appreciate hearing that. Thank you. That means a lot.
So keep it up, man. And honestly, any websites or anything you have, J2?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me on my socials, I post a lot on Instagram. You guys can find me. Just search up J2 Matioli all together. I also got Twitter. I do have my own YouTube channel where I upload my matches, and I believe, and Facebook. You guys can also follow me on Facebook, all at J2 Matioli. That's where I got all my stuff, and also TikTok. TikTok's actually where I get a lot of views. If you guys go on TikTok, just look up J2 Matioli.
Not only that, but J2 has some great merchandise. He has mask, luchador mask, his helmet, kind of really, really cool. So hit him up for merchandise. You got T-shirts, J2. What do you got right now?
Yeah, I got T-shirts. I got some black and red J2 shirts, the Save Your Tears shirts. I also got some white and blue when I'm babyface J2. And then I got some new shirts too. They're called the Heartless Kings shirts for my new faction in San Diego they're selling like hotcakes. People they want them so bad. So I sell out really fast.
Tell me about this Heartless Kings faction.
So the Heartless Kings is a faction I started down in San Diego. I wanted some sort of faction to help younger guys, to kind of guide them to become heels. And I got two luchadors, and I got one American guy, Jeremiah Fresh, Fatal, and Flama. And these guys, I believe that they can be the next top heels in San Diego if they really put their efforts into it. And they're starting to get more bookings out there. They're also very new, but they're listening and applying what I'm showing them. So I have high hopes for them with this group.
Well, we have vacant Superboy substitute title. We have vacant trio titles.
Oh wow! Well, you know what that means.
They're gonna have to get them out of the. They're gonna have to take them out, man. We gotta do something. We gotta do something, Bandido.
We gotta check out the faction. And, that's what I'm trying to work on. Maybe we'll do a trio tournament or something. But we do have those belts, and they're ready to go to a new home. So, Heartless Kings might be might coming in. But other than that,
there you go.
It's always been a pleasure talking to you, bro. And I will see you July 16th. Oxnard, get your tickets now. This match, honestly, will be a banger. Kiss Jr., J2, this is going to be a really great match right here. So get your tickets now on Takiri.com. For more information, 805-794-8442. And we will see you here August 19th. J2, thank you very much for giving some time. And anything you want to say, Superboy?
And not just thank you, gracias, Carlita, for letting us into a little bit of your life and your personal life and your wrestling life. Thank you. I wish you the best. Good luck on your trips, your future trips. And man, I'm wishing you the best, brother.
Thank you, guys. I truly appreciate you guys for giving me this time. And we're gonna keep killing it out there for you guys and the wrestling world. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys, man. Have a great night, J2. All right, guys.
Gracias.
Good night. We'll see you guys next Thursday because Tuesday's a holiday. Tuesday's July 4th. So probably Wednesday. Probably we'll be back Wednesday or Thursday.
It's up to you. Wednesday's cool.
Wednesday it is. All right, J2. Have a good long weekend. Hey, and when you come down tomorrow to the valley, bring a lot of water. It's going to be over 100 degrees down here.
Oh, man. I'll bring lots of water, I promise.
All right. Have a good night, man.
A la miramos. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Gracias.